Hello everyone and welcome back to another new album video. We're now on week 44 and this week we're taking a look at Songs for a Nervous Planet by Tears for Fears. First released October 25th, 2024. Some notable tracks off this album include The Girl That I Call Home, Say Goodbye to Mom and Dad, Astronaut, and Emily Said. All those tracks that I just listed are all new tracks on this album. This album is a kind of a hybrid part studio album, and then the rest of it is a live album. So little less than a quarter of it is new material, and the other like three quarters or a little bit more is all recorded at one show. I think last summer or last year on the second part of their Tipping Point tour. So I went to the Tipping Point tour in 2022 with a friend of mine. We played here locally at like a just kind of like an amphitheater kind of setting. I think the following year they were playing at larger venues because when I saw them, it was Tears for Fears headlining with Garbage opening for them. And the Tears for Fears concert was really good. It was a lot of fun. The Garbage concert was also great as well. Of course, this is one of the concerts where I've been to this venue three times, and it's rained at every single time I've been there. It's rained. So it rained a little bit during the Garbage and Tears for Fears show. The following year was the Noel Gallagher and Garbage concert. It rained at that one. And then I most recently, back in May, saw Slowdive at that same venue, and it kind of rained a little bit then. It wasn't terrible the first two times with Garbage and Tears for Fears, and then Slowdive, it was kind of more of a drizzle, but there was like basically like almost like a downpour during the, like right when Noel Gallagher's set ended and Garbage's set started, it started really just kind of raining heavily. But anyway, to get back on track, we were talking about this new album here from Tears for Fears, like I said a few seconds ago, but a hybrid between studio album and a live album. I really enjoyed it. It's a little bit on the longer side. It's about an hour and like 46 minutes. The first four songs on the album are all new, with the rest of them being live recordings. I have some notes here from this, so we're going to get to those in just a moment. Let me just get here. Here we go. So, like we said earlier, released October 25th, 2024. There was kind of a bit of controversy on this album regarding the artwork. Like this artwork here is clearly AI generated. I think the band kind of doubled down and defended the AI artwork. Where I've used AI just to kind of mess around before. I don't really like the idea of artist using it, and basically because AI essentially will copy and mimic art styles and essentially steal artwork or bits of artwork from various artists to create like a composite image. I'm not super familiar with like the intricacies of it, but I know there is a lot of controversy between on just kind of on AI art and stuff like that. So they could have just used it to get an idea of what they wanted to do, and then hired another artist to, like create it on their own. They could have easily like brought like an astronaut suit to like a field of sunflowers and photographed it instead of using AI. But the cover, like I said, the cover is probably the most controversial part of the album because I think the actual music, which is what we're going to be discussing, is actually really good. It's kind of just a shame though that this album came out and the stuff that most people are talking about with it is the artwork. Like I said, I think it's probably okay for them to like use AI to get like an idea, like put something in there, see how it looks, and then present that to an actual artist instead of just basically going in, generating it, and calling it a day. I think the Marvel show, The Secret Invasion, I think kind of did a bunch of AI stuff with the kind of credits, and I think Disney and Marvel kind of like defended it, being like, well, this is about like the concept of the show is like a really good use for AI artwork, where they could have just hired somebody to make it in that style. With that said, we're going to now move into the album itself. So the show, so the first, like I said, The songs that I mentioned right over there are all newly recorded songs for this album, with the rest of them being from a show. They were all recorded at the same show. So we actually just bring up the set list for that show. So this was the Tipping Point tour, like part two. Like I said, I saw part one. And this was recorded, this concert happened July 11th, 2023 at the First Bank Amphitheater in Franklin, Tennessee. So we're just going to go through the track list here, or the set list of the show, and then we'll compare it to the actual track list on the album. So song one was No Small Thing. Song two is The Tipping Point. Song three is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Song four was Secret World. Song five was Sowing the Seeds of Love. Song six was Long, Long, Long Time. Song seven is Break the Man. Song eight is My Demons. Song 9 is Rivers of Mercy. Song 10 is Mad World. Song 11 is Suffer the Children. Song 12 is Woman in Chains. Song 13 is Bad Man Song. Song 14 is Pale Shelter. Song 15 is Break It Down Again, with Song 16 being Head Over Heels / Broken. That's the main set list. And then they have a few songs in the encore. So track 17 is End of Night. Song 18 is Change, and song 19 is Shout. So that is the set list for the show that this was recorded at. And I'm going to actually bring the actual track list up here for this album here on my phone, because it's on Apple Music, and that's where I listen to it. So, let me see. Again, length of the album, 1 hour and 46 minutes, with a total of 22 tracks. So track 1 is Say Goodbye to Mom and Dad. Track 2 is The Girl That I Call Home. Track 3 is Emily Said. And track 4 is Astronaut. So the new songs are pretty good. I've only listened to them once. I've only listened to the album once, and these songs are pretty good. I'm going to have to go back and revisit it at some point in the future to see how it holds up to some of their, their more iconic songs. And then with track 5 is when we start getting into the live album. So, let's see here. Did they do this in any kind of order, or was it? You see Franklin, Tennessee. Yeah, I don't know if this was the Tipping Point No Small Thing. Was that on that list? Or was it not there? Oh, yeah, it was. Okay, cool. So just making sure I actually was reading the right set list and make sure I wasn't making a fool of myself. So I was on the right set list. Okay, so track 5 is No Small Thing. Is this just the entire, it might just be the entire, so 22, there may have been a song or two different, but let's see here. So track 5 is No Small Thing. Track 6 is The Tipping Point. Track 7 is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. One of their most iconic tracks. Probably their most, it's not my favorite, but I think it's the one that everybody thinks about when they think about Tears for Fears, is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Track 8 is Secret World. Track 9 is Sowing the Seeds of Love, another classic song there. Track 10 is Long, Long, Long Time. Track 11 is Break the Man. Track 12 is My Demons. Track 13 is Rivers of Mercy. Track 14 is Mad World. Great song there, one of their more kind of iconic tracks. A lot of people know the Gary Jules version of it, which I think may have been Donnie Darko. I don't know if it was Donnie Darko or if that was the original. But then I think the Gears of War trailer used that cover very effectively. So we were on Mad World. Track 15 is Suffer the Children. Track 16 is Woman in Chains. Track 17 is Bad Man Song. Track 18 is Pale Shelter, which is actually probably my favorite song from them overall. It was used in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Absolutely classic track. One of my favorite. Probably my favorite track from them. If I had to pick one, I'm picking that. Track 19 is Break It Down Again. Track 20 is Head Over Heels. Probably my second favorite song behind Pale Shelter. Used great and very effectively in Donnie Darko as well. But Head Over Heels, just an iconic track. Track 21 is Change. And track 22 is Shout. Again, Shout being, again, one of their most iconic tracks. But yeah, see, I don't think it was Seeds of Love. I don't know if there was any songs that were missing off of this album. I don't know if it was basically just a live album from that show. Because so we have, let's see, 19 tracks. I think there is a track that they did not include here. Oh, it looks like End of Night was not included. So, because it goes Break It Down Again, Head Over Heels, and then it goes, from that, goes into Change and then Shout. So it looks like for some reason, the first song of the encore, which is End of Night, is not included on the live album for some reason. Not sure why. But overall, this album is very good. Like, their iconic tracks on the live album hit very hard and are just classics, like Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Shout, Head Over Heels, Pale Shelter, Sowing the Seeds of Love. Really good just live performances of those classics. And then on top of that, you get 4 new studio tracks, which I think are pretty good, but I'm going to have to let those sit for a little bit and revisit them and see how they kind of stack up compared to some of their older, more iconic songs. Only thing issue with the album was probably the kind of controversy with the artwork, but definitely worth checking out. It's a little bit on the longer side because basically it's an entire concert worth of music plus a few new tracks. But overall, really enjoyed listening to it, and I probably will go back and revisit those new tracks at some point. And I've listened to some of the live tracks. I've listened to like Pale Shelter like 2 or 3 times off this. Head Over Heels off this album I listened to like a couple times. But overall, like I think the live half, or live, it's not even a half, it's like more like 3/4 of the album, is better than the new material. But the new material is so new that I haven't really been able to kind of process where it's going to like sit in my like personal ranking, so to speak. But that is going to do it for this video. We'll be back again in a week with a whole new album. Getting pretty close to the end of the series, so we're on episode. This is 44. So we've got let's see, 8 more to go. I think, if that's how math works. Yeah. So yeah, 8 more episodes. So we basically just have November and December coming up. But again, that's going to do it for now. So remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again next time. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one.